Alright, so I'm here with the rugged Rockhound, and I was just asking him about how the quartz in the red coral horns is formed. And here's what he had to say.
All right, so something that really helped him was talking kind of from the atomic scale.
Right.
So when you go back and just kind of go down to the very basic building blocks, especially for those who know Minecraft, there's specific building blocks. This is the building block of the universe that, at least is what we've designated it, is the atom. Now, definitely it's made up of smaller particles, but the atom is what kind of structures everything we see. And all atoms are made of protons, neutrons, and electrons. And because they're all made of the same stuff, the elements are made of atoms in different arrangements, which give all the different varieties we see in the world. So the different types of atoms are what cause variety. So
elements are just different kinds of atoms.
Elements are just different atoms. An atom is a generic something made of protons, neutrons, and electrons. And whatever those are made of, or whatever those are made of. So you got the protons, neutrons, electrons, and depending on how many they have, depends on what the element is. So every element is given a name based on the amount of protons and electrons and kind of the neutrons. It's mostly the protons. That's the most important thing. The amount of protons it has is determined what kind of element it is. So if it has one proton, we call it hydrogen. 2 protons, helium, and so on. The amount of neutrons it has can vary, and that variation we call isotopes, and you can give them different designations based on that. But the most important thing is the different element. And so when you're looking at a mineral, a crystal, let's say, like a quartz crystal, it is made up of elements. It's a compound, and the elements it is made of is why we call it what it is. Quartz is made up of silicon and oxygen. That's the basic structure. Pure quartz should just be a silicon bonded with 2 oxygens at the basic level. And it bonds in a way to make kind of a pyramid shape, which is why quartz has that pyramid tip to it. And that's another cool thing, is the shape of a mineral usually mimics how the elements arrange themselves based on how many elements they are and how they bond to each other. When you get variations in it, that's when you get beauty. So a perfect quartz crystal is always colorless. So if you see a perfect colorless quartz crystal, it means it is almost pure silicon and oxygen. But every now and then, when it's forming, there's an abundance of other elements there, and they'll sometimes force their way in because they want to be part of it, even though the structure itself would rather have silicon.
Yep.
Sometimes it works its way in. Sometimes you can get something like iron, magnesium, manganese, things like that. And those different things, if you get enough of them, will change the color. So you can get something that's colorless quartz, you get enough iron in there, and it'll maybe turn it yellow, and you can call it citron. You get enough iron in there, even more iron, maybe some other elements, and you can turn it purple, and then you get amethyst. So all different minerals all across the earth are based on what elements like to bond, in what structure, and then what kind of variation you get due to the environment it's forming in, and how many different elements are present.